Hey guys, Jadahan 1995 here. We got
Joseph. That's me.
what you do today, buddy?
Came first with Maliss. Sky Striker Maliss.
Sky Striker Mouse. Does it have multi-wall benefits in this one?
Bro, I wish. That combo is so good. No one believed in me. I'm telling you. It sucks.
Alright, let's jump into it, buddy.
Yeah, let's go. Alright. So we'll start off with the Maliss engine, right? So I'm playing 3 of all of them. So 3 of it, 3 Mass, and 3 Cat. So I maximize names because this deck plays a lot of extenders. So just being able to have a name on the board is what lets you combo. You don't actually need to resolve any of these. That's what makes this deck so good into hand traps, is like, you just care about the name, right? All of your link monsters, or at least the 2 you want to be making, they require just Maliss name. So 2 monsters including a Maliss, 2 monsters including a Maliss. So even if you don't resolve them, if you draw any extenders, you can climb into Splash Mage, climb into Lizardos, and you can like make these guys, right? And this one gets you combos. So I think it's best to max out on all the names, in my opinion at least. To complement that as well, I play 1 Gold Sock and then 3 Field Spell. This is just extra names. This is basically 3 more copies of Gold Sock. This card's so good. I don't play Terraforming because I draw so many cards in this deck. I didn't really like the redundancy of like having Ransom, Field Spell, and Terraforming, so I didn't really decide to play that, but you definitely could. I just think this is enough. I think the idea that this deck doesn't have enough starters is probably not correct. I think there's definitely plenty here. There's definitely a lot of ways to access them, so. But yeah, pretty basic. Then onto the extenders. So this is really what makes the deck good, in my opinion, right? So triple copies of Vanilla. Yeah, insane. No real explanation here. Right? This card does so much in this deck. You can even banish these, so triple shifter and triple pistols. So these are more extenders. A shifter acts as an extender because not only does it turn off a lot of hand traps that are annoying for this deck, it also makes a lot of your combos very like low to the ground. It puts you in a really nice game state, which is why I kind of consider this an extender. And then obviously these cards are crazy in this deck. They don't really help under Lancia, but they are super good even under Shifter. You can clear the Shifter out of your own graveyard and then Shifter them again, which is pretty funny. But yeah, these work really nicely together. This really complements the deck. I feel like you need 3 of all of these. You could even consider playing another Druid Worm or a Baldrake or something, but yeah, I feel like this is pretty mandatory. Then onto the engine requirements. So 1 Dotscaper, and then the 1 Advanced Trap. So nothing really to say about these. Multiples of these isn't good. You don't really want to draw them. You want to draw them going first but not second, so I think it's a bit risky. I don't play the Code of Soul. That's probably something I should mention. Code of Soul isn't really needed in this version because you have so many extenders. The whole point of Code of Soul is you make the Crypta on your opponent's turn, right? So you summon out all the bodies using this trap, and then you go into Crypta with Code of Soul. But because I play so many extenders, I just make this turn 1, put it in the graveyard, and then banish it on their turn. So I don't really have a need for Code of Soul. It isn't a brick, it is another extender. I think it's good with Signet Mining, but I'm not playing it, so I decided to cut it for this version. I didn't regret it. It never came up. Yeah, that's it for the engines. Now onto the non-engine. So obviously, my favorite engine in the entire game, of course. I love this engine. It's so good. The thing that makes it really good is you can link down a lot in this deck. So when you have a lot of bodies, you just link them all up into like some big link 5 or like one of these, right? You clear all your bodies and then you engage, right? Or then you Hornet Drones and you keep extending. The good thing is you can clear a lot of your bodies, so these cards don't become dead after turn 1. It's very similar to like what Striker Orcus used to do. Just link everything into IP and then your engage is live again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's really good. I don't play Shark Cannon, you don't need it. This is plenty. Right? Then we play Triple Eclipse. So not only is this broken into Ryzeal, before they get the Twins of the Eclipse card, this card kind of sucks after that. But this card's really good into Ryzeal. It's also good in this deck because you're a link deck. So this doesn't book your own stuff, you just book all their stuff and then all your stuff stays face up. It's very strong. Yeah, this is a lot of synergy in this deck. I think it's really good. Lets you beat impermanent stuff as well.
Nice.
Then the rest of the non-engine, just a small thrust package, so 2 thrusts, 1 talents. This is mainly used for Allure, the traps, this, and talents, right?
Yeah.
I'm not using this as a hand trap, I'm using it as a board breaker. This paired with like Widow Anchor and stuff like that is really impressive. This deck likes to 1-for-1 for things because this always trades up. So you put 1 body up, you trade for like 2 cards, right? Whereas like if I just 1-for-1 the detonator, I can like start pushing it, start getting aggressive, right? This engine's really good. I probably would play 3 thrust in the future. I think 3. This card is so good, so I would definitely play 3. Yeah, that's it. That's it for the main. Clean 40.
Clean 40?
It has to be clean 40 with all the draw cards. But yeah. Okay, so onto the extra. So I play the Link Spider. This comes up so much. A lot of people still like to keep Nibbin against this deck because the really weak combos lose to Nib. So you definitely need this when your combos aren't weak. This lets you extend a lot. Just being a Cyburst is what makes this really good, right? Kagari for the Scratch Tracker stuff. Decoder, best extender in the deck. Turns any 3 bodies into 4 bodies, it's crazy. Then onto the 2s. Splash Mage, same kind of deal, turns 2 bodies into 3 bodies, it's really good. SP. It's actually a combo piece because you can banish your own stuff.
Yeah.
It lets you beat nib really nicely as well because you can just keep it up with your combo, and then if they nib you, you just chain the SP, banish 2 of your guys, and then maybe the Maliss name comes back if you haven't banished it already. If not, just super good. Obviously it's SP. Then Lizardos. This is a combo piece. Doesn't really do much else. Sometimes you can co-link it because its arrows are really nice, but otherwise it's not that relevant. Onto the link 3s. So Binder, Ransom, and Crypto. So this is the heart of the deck, right? All 3 of these are super good. You could honestly play 2 of this if Kashtira is really popular. You really need this card. If they unicorn this card, the game's kind of hard because you don't have direct access to your traps, apart from White Rabbit. You do need 2 traps every turn, so it's really nice to have both things active. But yeah, this card is definitely the best card in the deck. It's super good. Really good into Fiendsmith as well, because it's like DD Crows. That is just like an incidental thing with this deck. You play Bestials, you play Shifter, and you play this. You have such a good Fiendsmith matchup. You have such an easy time like dealing with graveyard decks, so it's really good. And then this one just searches the field spell. And this is your boss monster in grind games. Just puts everything back in your deck. Just keep banishing stuff. This card is incredible under Shifter. It's really good. So yeah. Onto the bigger links, so access code. Really funny, you can just banish the Maliss links and they come back with this. It's so dumb.
Yeah, that's actually base.
It's also like, you have so many different attributes, like we have like earth, fire, water, we even have
so many.
light as well.
Yeah.
Like you have a lot of different attributes. You can pop a lot of cards. Yeah, and then also Firewall, this card's also good at breaking boards. It's also an extender because it summons Cybursters from your hand, which is crazy. The really dumb part with this card, and the thing I've been using it for the most, in my opinion, is putting this back in your hand. So there is a 1-card combo where under Shifter, you can make Firewall pointing to Ransom, and then you bounce this back to your hand using the Firewall, and then you have nothing in your graveyard, so you can just Shifter them again.
Shifter again,
right?
wow.
It's really insane. It also makes you like super immune to hand traps because, as I explained, like Shifter makes you really good into everything. So yeah, it's a super strong combo. Yeah, but this has many other applications. Then we have the Griffin. This is also an option under Shifter. You just make the Griffin and it points to the Ransom, and they don't have any arrows. Just put this one in the middle and you put this one under the EMZ. Then they can't really do anything. It's decent. Depends on what your hand is. Depends on what their hand is. I didn't make this. I haven't made this in a couple games, but when it comes up, it wins me the game. So nice to have it, right? Then the last link is Terahertz. Crazy boss monster, does so much. Nothing really to explain. And then the 2 targets. I don't play Packbit because you'll see in the side deck I'm playing Ultimate Slayer, so I need this one as the Xyz. I didn't really want to waste a side deck slot on this. I'd rather just have this in my extra deck.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's the extra deck?
That's the extra deck.
Let's jump in the side.
Yeah, so for the side deck, I have the last thrust. Definitely will be going in the main. I think you need 3 thrusts in the main, especially with engage and stuff. Like this card's crazy.
Yeah.
Then I play another Talents. This is really good for going first. Just makes your number of cards going first super good, especially with this. You have so many options going first, like beat Lancia to you know, like stabilize the game state, even if you like get hand trapped a lot. Like to further support that, I've got these. So this helps a lot into Lancia. You get Lancia, all good. In the mirror match, you set this, and then you can get your own Lancia, which I'm playing 3 of as well.
Yeah.
Against like Fiendsmith decks or graveyard decks, you set this one, and against like you know, Ryzel or whatever, you set this one. Yeah, it's super good into Shifter. Lancia, sorry. I didn't play Crossout because I feel like you need a lot of hand traps to justify Crossout. I'd rather just have these cards to beat it. Yeah, 3 Lancia is mandatory. Obviously, for the mirror match, this deck just dies to Shifter. Lancia, keep saying that. Deck dies to Lancia. Then I play 3 Flawless. Even with all the going second cards in the deck, this card's just too broken to not have. Like, even though, yeah, this deck is really good at going second, I still think this is probably mandatory. It's really good. And then the last 3 cards is the 3 Ultimate Slayer. This card is incredible. Yeah. It's so good. Even in the mirror match, it's so strong. Like, even in the mirror match, you can just dump, like, any link that you don't need that turn. Out the Terahertz, you can even out the Crypto, you can have a lot of stuff. Puts you in a really good position, and it's a super aggressive card, which is good. It also pairs really nicely with Thrust. This engine works really well. Works well with Engage, works with all this. Like the spell board breakers are really good.
So you pretty much replaced the Sky Striker engine, the Cashier engine for the Sky Striker. So how do you feel about that?
I think it's good. Like it does the same thing. It gives you 2 bodies, right? With the drones and the Kagari. Like it kind of does the same thing as Cash. It also just gives you like access to Widow Anchor, draw power. It's really good. I think there is merit for the Cash engine though. Like as I explained, Unicorn being able to hit like those really key pieces like Exciton Knight or like the White Binder and stuff like that. Like it's definitely got merit. I think both engines are very similar.
Would you like my feeling would be like siding the Cashier engine in some sort of matchups and the Striker out?
Yeah, similar to like Snake Eye.
Yeah.
Right? Snake Eye did that. It's it is definitely like something you can consider. I think when matchups where Unicorn is really good, or like if Fenrir is just a nice card in the matchup, like especially against Fiendsmith, that's
sometimes are just solos, yeah.
Yeah, legit, just solos. That could be an option, but the side deck is really tight, especially with the thrust cards. Like I'm playing so many cards for thrust. I think like you would weigh up thrust versus cash. You'd be like, do I like the thrust engine? Do I like the cash engine? That kind of thing. But you know, it is a consideration. The cash cards are really good for sure. Yeah.
Nice, man. Any shout-outs, my friend?
The man behind the camera, Yellow Hunt 1995, the goat himself. He's my goat, my deck profile. I love him. Shout outs to all the Aussie boys, all the Lions Den boys. Love this locals. Yeah, that's it.
He's the first deck profile from here from
That's it.
Because I've been too lazy and now I'm not lazy. I'm back.
He's back.
Alright, thanks, man.